been watching these issues for a rather long time, I do find myself pinching myself at how far Albania has come from being an almost anthropological outlier of Europe throughout the Hoxha communist period to a country now whose norms and in many respects institutions are exemplary in terms of their attempts to rejoin and leap over the incredible time period that has been done in a relatively short time period. Many of the laws are already the laws one would expect to see. Many of the institutions are already the institutions one would expect to see. Be it the existence of shelters, or be it the access of not only lawyers but indeed NGOs and civil society and indeed the People's Advocate to all places of detention, and we have evidence that that is the case. This is very much avant-garde in many ways in terms of the number of institutions that are there to provide transparency and accountability and essentially a deterrent, a preventive function in areas where people may be vulnerable and at risk. There still seem to remain problems, problems of ill treatment, problems of some violence against women, if not problems of any more transit as a source of human trafficking. But it's also clear that the state party is focused on, is aware of the issues and focused on doing something about it. And so it really is a rather encouraging picture in terms of that normative and institutional reality. And yet, there is the problem of reconciling the fact that not everything is quite functioning according to plan. It's really hard to understand how the number of cases of ill treatment that are referred to us by the HRCtte, for example, which works closely with the People's Advocate, can still be the case with all of that protection, and one wonders whether there may not be problems of impunity that need to be addressed. But basically, a very clear commitment in my view, and I'm speaking, of course, without prejudice to the committee's concluding observations, by the state party, and as reflected in this very conscientious delegation, to look to any issue in respect of our covenant and other issues that could affect the human rights situation in the country. So I think it's been a very useful and constructive dialogue, to use the usual terminology, but mean it. Again, thanks to the delegation for their cooperation, and I think it's now our job to wish the delegation a safe home. I guess you stay in Geneva, but I hope there'll be some form of relief for you between now and the coming business year. Safe home to the delegation, and we look forward to receiving the written responses, which have to be within 48 hours. The Secretariat is very dictatorial about this. No transparency, no accountability, just orders. Of course, it's obvious the pressures they have to work under. That's how it has to be. So, thanks again. Thanks to the interpreters for staying on a little bit longer. And just before terminating the the meeting. Closing the meeting, I give the floor to the Secretary, Kate Fox, to make a short announcement. You have the floor, Kate.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. Just a very short announcement with respect to receptions for the committee members. You